WWE Hall of Famer and AEW commentator Jim Ross reveals he has been diagnosed with colon cancer and is scheduled for surgery. We'll let you know the details on this health announcement from the iconic wrestling announcer. Will Ospreay says to WWE talent, "On our worst day, we smoke all of you guys." We have the ratings for Tuesday's edition of WWE NXT, an update on if Cedric Alexander could be on his way to All Elite Wrestling. Details on if we could see CM Punk versus John Cena in WWE in the future, plus more details on upcoming opponents for the undisputed WWE Champion. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. As you can see right there, we're currently at 21,664 subscribers. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Join the ever-expanding WNU, that being the Wrestling News universe. In addition, you can become a member of the WN365 roster. Links in the video description. You can click the join button or scan the QR code when it appears on the sidebar. Speaking of the sidebar, you can see all upcoming watch-alongs and post-shows we've got here live for the month of May, including AEW Double or Nothing at the end of the month. Now let's begin with some sad news, troubling news regarding WWE Hall of Famer and current AEW commentator, good old JR Jim Ross. Now, legendary professional wrestling commentator Jim Ross has shared a serious health update with his fans today on May 15, 2025. Ross revealed he has been diagnosed with colon cancer. The WWE Hall of Famer made the announcement via his official X account. The tweet, the post you can see on the screen right there, alongside the image of the iconic voice of professional wrestling. In his direct and candid post, Ross stated, quote, "Diagnosed this week with colon cancer. Surgery being scheduled in the next week or two. I appreciate your concern and support," end quote. Now, of course, this is the latest health battle. Comes after Ross having courageously faced and overcome several significant health challenges in recent years. He has been very open about his struggles with skin cancer, undergoing multiple surgeries and treatments to combat the illness, particularly on his leg. Ross has also dealt with the lingering effects of Bell's palsy, which has impacted him for decades, and has spoken about various other age-related health concerns. Of course, we wish Jim Ross a speedy recovery. We know you can beat this good old JR, and you can be back doing what you do best, and that's calling professional wrestling. So obviously thoughts go out to Jim Ross as he battles colon cancer. Now let's go to AEW's Will Ospreay, talking about the rivalry with WWE. AEW's Will Ospreay hasn't been shy in recent weeks in stating how he feels about AEW's in-ring quality compared to WWE. Though he was respectful to AEW's rival promotion, the men's Owen Hart Cup finalist made clear in an interview that he considered AEW to be the better promotion when it came to bell-to-bell wrestling, prompting praise from former WWE superstar Bishop Dyer in how he handled the question. In an interview with Yo Josh Martinez, Ospreay was given another opportunity to prop up AEW against WWE when a fan asked what the difference between AEW All In and WWE Saturday Night's Main Event would be, which is rumoured to be running the same day as All In. Again, attempting to be as respectful as possible, Ospreay was even more adamant about AEW offering a better pro wrestling product than WWE did. Quote, "We smoke them in every field of wrestling," Ospreay said. "Like, oh man, we're just better. I respect them. I respect every single one of them there. They're all vets. They all know what they're doing. They're great at their job. They understand getting people on their feet, but we are so much more of the better wrestling company than them. Like, our guys smoke them every single days of the week. They've got good guys like Gunther. They've got great guys like Orton. They've got good guys like Chad Gable. I respect all of them, but on our worst day, we smoke all of you guys." Of course, Ospreay is set to compete in the men's Owen Hart Cup final against Hangman Adam Page at AEW Double or Nothing. Now let's move on to the ratings for WWE NXT this past Tuesday on the CW. Ratings for WWE NXT continued to experience a downturn from its recent average, though the show did manage a slight increase compared to viewership from last week. Based on data from WrestleNomics, this week's NXT drew an average of 664,000 viewers across all demographics, while the 18 to 49 rating was a 0.15. The total viewership for this week was up 2% from the previous episode, while the key demo increased by 7%. The show's ratings are likely taking a hit due to the NBA and NHL playoffs, and the NBA pulled in an especially large audience on Tuesday with the end of the Indiana Pacers and Cleveland Cavaliers series. For much of this year, NXT has hovered around 700,000 viewers, but that number has dropped in recent weeks. The most recent NXT was headlined by a tag team match that saw Stephanie McCur and Jordan Grace pick up a win ahead of their upcoming title match. Additionally, Miles Bourne solidified his position as #1 contender to the WWE NXT Championship with a singles victory over Ethan Page, while champion Obafemi picked up a non-title win of his own. On YouTube, the tag team main event garnered the most attention, with the full match receiving more than 165,000 views. Behind that was Joe Hendry's interaction with Trick Williams, followed by highlights of Femi's match, a promo involving Bakur and Grace, and Bourne's victory over Paige. NBA and NHL playoffs are set to continue into the next month, so NXT isn't quite out of the woods when it comes to ratings. Looking ahead, the brand has one more episode before presenting NXT Battleground on May 25th, with 3 title matches already scheduled for that show. Now, many people have wondered, is Cedric Alexander on his way to AEW? Now, WWE has held 2 rounds of releases so far this year, one in early February and one in early May. Among the February releases was the former Hurt Business member Cedric Alexander. With the rest of the Hurt Business, MVP, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin firing on all cylinders in AEW as the Hurt Syndicate, fans immediately began to wonder if Alexander would join them. A few days ago, Alexander and the rest of the February releases officially became free agents after their 90-day non-compete clauses expired, meaning they are now officially able to sign and work with other companies. The potential for Alexander to make his AEW debut heightened last night on Dynamite as Bobby Lashley was set to make his ultimate decision on whether to allow MJF to join the Hurt Syndicate, a segment that many thought could be the way to mark the arrival of Alexander. There was no sign of Alexander on last night's show, although there is now another contract signing segment next week to make MJF joining the group official, which could be another chance for Alexander to show up. Nonetheless, in the latest update on whether Alexander moves to AEW is actually on the table, Fightful Select reports it's always been a thing that's been discussed. Now, a few years ago, Alexander's wife, Big Swole, had a public dispute with AEW President Tony Khan upon her exit with the company, which has also led to question marks over whether that would present something of a barrier for entry to Alexander. However, Fightful reports that is not the case and isn't seen as a hurdle. It was noted it would take a lot more than that for a bridge to be burned when it comes to Alexander potentially joining AEW. Now, John Cena versus CM Punk. Many have wondered if we're going to see them face each other one more time before Cena retires. Now, John Cena versus CM Punk won't be taking place at the event, which hosted their most famous match. Mike Johnson of PW Insider has reported the next showdown between John Cena and CM Punk is not currently scheduled to take place at Money in the Bank. The 2025 edition of the popular show is planned for June 7th at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, California. WWE still want to run CM Punk vs John Cena at some point in 2025 when the timing is right, although it's unknown when exactly the company are thinking about holding the match. CM Punk and Cena feuded over the WWE Championship from the summer of 2011 until early 2013, with Punk famously defeating Cena for the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank 2011 before he walked out of the company with the championship. Punk and Cena have clashed on WWE television in 2025, notably at the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber, but they've not faced off in a singles match since February of 2013. Now, when it comes to Punk, many have wondered if he's going to be taking the flight to Saudi Arabia for the upcoming WWE PLE, that being Night of Champions. Now, CM Punk says he doesn't hate coming to Saudi Arabia. That's what Punk said during a recent Instagram live session. In the session, Punk was asked why he hates coming to Saudi Arabia. Punk responded by saying, quote, "I don't hate coming to Saudi. I've never been to Saudi." The reason fans wonder about Punk's views on Saudi Arabia is because back in 2020, Punk had some harsh words for The Miz after The Miz appeared on the WWE Backstage show. Miz's appearance came after Punk's own appearance on the show. Punk made a surprise return to the WWE adjacent television show, and his first words were a riff on Rowdy Roddy Piper's old catchphrase, quote, "Just when they think they've got the answers, I change the culture," Punk said. Miz appeared a week later and said, "Oh, sorry, I didn't change the culture." When the WWE on Fox Twitter/X account tweeted the remarks, Punk did not hold back, saying, quote, "Go suck a blood money covered dick in Saudi Arabia, you fucking dork," Punk tweeted. The tweet was later deleted, but still lives in infamy. It was reported that when Punk returned to WWE, he eventually apologized to The Miz, and there appears to be no animosity between the two. But it was because of that tweet that fans were of the belief that Punk was against the idea of performing in or for in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. But Punk was recently featured in the promotional video for the Night of Champions, which will air on Saturday, June 28th from Saudi Arabia. So if we get any more details on that, of course, we'll let you know in an upcoming video. and John Cena. Speaking of those upcoming matches, as I mentioned, we know that Cena versus Punk looks like it's not going to be happening at Money in the Bank, and though Punk versus Cena isn't the plan for WWE's next PLE on June 7th, PW Insider reported that those in the creative circles believe that rapper Travis Scott will be available for Money in the Bank. There have reportedly been pitches for Cena to team with the rapper, who was present for the initial heel turn at Elimination Chamber, in either a regular tag match or a multi-man tag. Scott has been training with Booker T at his school in Texas. Now, Cena is advertised for Saturday night's main event next weekend, though his opponent has not yet been named. R-Truth got involved in his match at Backlash, and Cena put Truth through a table at the press conference following the event. As for his next appearance after Money in the Bank, it looks like we do have details on that, because WWE is now advertising John Cena for the June 9th edition of WWE Monday Night Raw in Phoenix, Arizona at the PHX Arena. This will be the first Raw episode following Money in the Bank's Premium Live event, which will emanate from the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles on June 7th. While the card is subject to change, the following names are listed under the Featured Superstars tab for the Raw show: John Cena, Gunther, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Jey Uso, and Kofi Kingston. As it was announced on the May 12th Raw episode, the June 9th show will also see Gunther challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. The champion is expected to be either Jey Uso or Logan Paul, with main event Jey set to put his title on the line against the Maverick on the May 24th Saturday night's main event special on NBC and Peacock. John Cena is also being advertised for this Saturday night's main event, as well as the Money in the Bank PLE. While his opponents haven't yet been officially announced, there have been rumours about Cena who he could be facing at the event. But there you go, guys, the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right-hand corner. As we spoke about earlier on, we're currently at 21,664 subscribers. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and join the ever-expanding WNU. Appreciate everyone tuning in, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.